was to bring you on a spiritual journey to India, one holy place. Dham. Dham means a holy place. There are certain places which have very powerful spiritual potency, and generally they're known as dham. So one can go there and he can, for a very short time, he can make amazing spiritual advancement. Personally, first time when I went there, that was 2004, and I actually went there to meet my spiritual master and to study spirituality, philosophy. I met this famous spiritual book, Bhagavad Gita, so I wanted to know more about Bhagavad Gita. So I went there basically to spend around 6 months, and I met my guru. And my guru, he's a great fan of spiritual places in India because he spent lots of time there and he really likes it. So one of the first things he told me is, if you just spend 6 months here in this holy place, in this Dhamma, your life will never be the same anymore. So that was already a great challenge. Wow. So what will happen? Let me see what will happen. So yes, I did this experiment. I stayed 6 months. And do you know what was the result?
Life was changed.
Yes, after that I went 15 more times there. And I am not the same that this happened. Like, there are other witnesses here. We have people who went more than 15 times there. So yes, you like this place, you like the way how you feel there. Spiritual life is very easy in these places. The last time when I was there, I had this spiritual realization. When you try to practice your spiritual life in the West, my personal experience is that you have a certain standard of your spiritual practice, whatever. You do meditation, I don't know, 5 times a week, or you go to some yoga place 3 times a week, whatever. It's your standard of spiritual practice. So in the West, somehow, you really push seriously to keep your spiritual level, and from time to time, willingly or not, somehow you start going down. And then at some point you start of thinking, okay, let me do something about it. Let me go to whatever, spiritual detox retreat, whatever, boost my spiritual energy. And then again, you keep it for some time, and then again, you start struggling. Now, in Mayapur, the last time when I was there, I had this internal spiritual understanding. Wow, it's actually so easy to keep your spiritual life here, so easy to keep your spiritual standards. And then with little bit endeavors, actually it's very easy to immediately increase your spiritual life, to do something extra, let's say, to read more spiritual books, to visit more seminars, to find more spiritual people to associate with. Somehow it becomes very, very easy. So anyway, I'll just show you some interesting places and tell you some interesting things about Mayapur. But before that, we have to go there. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so close your eyes and get your Uber. Imagine you're on JFK and you are entering the plane, and now you have only 15 hours flight. But don't worry, they will serve you some food. And now you are in India, Calcutta, West Bengal. And you are getting your stuff, your luggage, and you are just about to enter from the door of the airport. And what is the first thing you feel? It's so hot and so humid. Because, by the way, I didn't told you, but I just brought you to the jungle. Because actually, West Bengal, these places, they are jungle. But that's why it's very beautiful, always green. But now you're in the civilization. So now we are taking a taxi for a short ride. 5 hours. Thank you very much. You are either, have you been there, or you are very good at Google and you are checking out all the maps? Wow. So anyway, now we are in Mayapur after 20 hours. I mean, it's not so much time to go to the other side of the world, isn't it? Only 20 hours. So this is how Mayapur looks like. It's a beautiful place, always green. During the winter, very nice weather. During the summer, it's good to lose some kilos, if you need to. But a very, very beautiful place. And one of the really special spiritual places in the world. Why so special? I'll tell you a little later. So first, I want to speak a little bit about a great personality. His name is Srila Prabhupada. He was the person that brought the knowledge or the glory of this place to the Western world. He was a guru, acharya, that actually came here to New York, 1965, and he wanted to spread spiritual knowledge. And in the beginning it was very, very difficult. They didn't take him very seriously. But then, little later, suddenly many young Western people, they actually became very interested from his teachings, and they started reading Bhagavad Gita, trying to understand the philosophy that he is presenting. After he got some success in the West, he went back to India. He wanted to establish some spiritual places as a unique spiritual places. So the first place he wanted to establish as a spiritual place was Mayapur. And what you see here is actually the place where he was living in the beginning. In the beginning, he just bought a piece of land. Actually, these were rice fields. And he was very enthusiastic and determined to transform these rice fields into a great spiritual place where the whole world can go and get spiritual knowledge, inspiration. So he was living in this hut, and his lifestyle was very, very simple. That was a part of his teachings. He was always encouraging people to have very simple lifestyle, but very exalted thinking, very high spiritual thinking. What is the lifestyle nowadays? What do you think? Little bit opposite, just a little bit. Not so much time for thinking and very complicated living. Yes. So this is a place where later it was built in his honor, Srila Prabhupada Samadhi. And my spiritual master, actually, he was part of building this amazing architecture. He spent it around, I think, around 10 years there. Maybe you were there at that time also. And one time we were talking and he told me, you know what, when they asked me to build this huge building, and I was thinking, why they are engaging me in this? I'm actually very good with people. I want to talk to people. This is my good side. Why they're engaging me just to work with sand and concrete and bricks? I don't understand this. And for many years he had this question in his mind. He was literally thinking that I could do something where I can be much more efficient. And then he said, but now that these buildings, they are accomplished, and every time so many people are visiting and receiving some spiritual benefit, now I understand, actually, now I understand why I was engaged in this. So this is a murti, a image of Srila Prabhupada, the founder of Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON. He's the person who came here and single-handedly actually tried to encourage Westerners to take more seriously about spiritual life. At that time, Westerners, they were very much becoming unhappy from the materialistic Western lifestyle, and they were looking for alternatives, and that was one of the alternatives that appear in the Western world. So they took it very, very seriously. There is a temple in this place, and there are 3 deities which are worshipped there every day. Now I'll try to explain some things. At the end, I want to show you, because it doesn't matter how much I'll explain, maybe I won't be able really to help you to imagine what it's all about. But at the end, I will show you, and then you will really get some idea what is happening there in this place. So these are the deities there. Panchatattva, or the main figure here is Lord Chaitanya, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the reason why this place is so special, because that's the place of appearance of this great personality. He is known as the last avatara, the last appearance of God who appeared 500 years ago. Sometimes he's known as the golden avatar. What was so special about him, I'll tell you just a little bit later. Then we have another great deity of Narasimha. This is known as our protector, the God protector. And he's always protecting spiritual people. That's why he has such a ferocious teeth and nails. If someone wants to, in one way or the other, disturb spiritual people, he is always protecting them. One spiritual master is referring to this deity as the god of war. He is always winning all kinds of wars and battles. His name is Narasimha, half lion, half man. And these are the main, in a sense, the main deities, Radha Madhava, which are very, very beautiful. So beautiful that actually if you see them closely, you won't be able to leave this place. And we are the proofs, isn't it? We felt the magic. Another amazing thing on this place is the presence of Ganges river, Mother Ganges. Ganges is starting from the Himalayas, so northern part of India. And we have today a girl which has the name Janavi. So Janavi is another name of river Ganges. Ganges is a very special river. There is a story that says that there is a special avatara or appearance of God, Vamana, who wanted to get the riches or the wealth of one great person who was so powerful that basically he took over the whole universe. And then the other rulers in the universe, they complained. They said, hey, wait a minute, this is not fair. So God appeared and said, okay, I will make the things fair. So he went to this great king, his name was Bali, and asked him for only 3 steps of land. He went as a very like small, austere person. And he said, oh, I need only 3 steps of land. And this king said, are you sure? I mean, I have the whole universe. I can give you everything you want. He said, yeah, actually one should not be greedy. You know, greediness is not good for spiritual advancement. So one should not be greedy. Just give me 3 steps of land, that's more than enough. And then the king said, okay, let it be so. But then at that point, his guru came. And he said, no, 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 you don't understand what's happening. Actually, this is a very special avatar of God. And he will cheat you. And he will take everything you have and give it back to the demigods. But anyway, still he thought about it and he said, well, even if he takes everything that I have, isn't it that the ultimate goal of life, if someone is really spiritually advanced, he'll become renounced from everything material and he'll be ready to dedicate himself for spiritual advancement, spiritual practice. So why not? Even if he takes everything material that I have, that means he'll just help me in my spiritual advancement. So let's see. And he said, yes, I promise, I'll give you 3 steps of land. And then at that moment, this small boy, he started growing. He became so big that with 1 step, he crossed half of the universe. And with his 2nd step, he crossed the other half. And with his thumb of his leg, he pierced through the layers of the universe. And the water of the spiritual ocean actually entered through the piers of the universe, inside the universe, and this water is known as the river Ganges.
His toe, right? His toe.
His toe, yes. So he asked, you promised 3 steps of land. I already took everything that you have. So it looks like you cannot fulfill your promise. But then King Bali said, no, 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 wait a minute. Still I have my head. You can put your 3rd step on my head. So he completely surrendered everything that he has materially, even his material body. He completely surrendered himself. That's why he's glorified after many, many thousands of years. So then Ganges entered in the universe, but went only to the upper planetary systems. Ganges didn't want to come to Earth. Why? Because Ganges knew these guys on Earth, sometimes they do pious activities, but sometimes they do some bad things as well. So if they come and take bath in me, I'll have to absorb all these sinful reactions. So I don't want that. So I'm not going to Earth, I will just stay here on heaven. But then there was a great king. He wanted to bring Ganges to Earth because they told him that this is the only way actually to help his predecessors to be spiritually benefited. And he was very determined, and for many, many years he was just living in the mountains and he was performing serious austerities like not eating, not drinking. And then at the end, Ganges became happy and said, okay, if you're so determined, okay, I can come to Earth, but we have some technical problems. He said, what is that? He said, well, one technical problem is I'm so powerful that if I just start going from the upper planetary systems to Earth, I'll just penetrate the Earth. I won't stay on Earth. So what we are going to do about that? He said, no problem, I will speak with some powerful personality, he can help with this. And he went and he talked to Lord Shiva. And Shiva said, okay, so Ganges, she can come on my head. So actually the Vedic scriptures are saying that Shiva, he is always staying in Himalayas. On which mountain? Kailash, yes. And actually Ganges is falling on his head. And from there, Ganges is flowing down from the Himalayas. So that's why Ganges is coming from the Himalayas. And anyway, there were a few more technical problems, but he solved them all, and just see, we have Ganges on Earth. Ganges is very special river. I wish you that one day you can go and you can take bath. Like, you know, sometimes people, they say, oh, this is such a dirty river, I would never go there. I mean, I don't know, because I saw Ganges only in Mayapur, and in Mayapur it's not a dirty river. Maybe some places it's dirty, not in Mayapur. And something very interesting about Ganges is, like, if you take other water from other rivers and put it in a bottle and keep it for whatever, a few weeks or a month, generally it becomes strange. Some green stuff starts appearing inside, so you understand this water is not good, muddy. But the Ganges water is actually the opposite. The more you keep it, actually, the more pure it becomes. So many local people in Mayapur, they take water from Ganges and keep it for 7 days and then drink it. I also did it one time and it worked. I mean, I'm still alive. So we say that this is because this is a spiritual water. It's not ordinary water. Scientists, they explain it. They say, well, there are so many silver molecules in Ganges water that whatever dirty bacteria there is inside, actually they kill them. So they don't allow any like small animals or bacteria to survive in this water. This is how they explain it. In any case, the fact is a fact. Ganges is there. And always when I took bath in Ganges, like you really feel purified after that. It's amazing feeling. This is one of the best things you can do in Mayapur. You just go whenever, especially when it's hot, and you just stay in Ganges and you swim. It's so nice, actually. It's a spiritual experience, but you have fun also at the same time. So really something that I recommend to everyone. Then another amazing thing that is happening now in Mayapur, we have a huge temple coming up. Actually, they say it will be the biggest Hindu temple in the world, and it should open at 2026. So if you have some money, get your tickets now and go there. It will be a very, very special event. There are predictions actually about this temple. What are the predictions? There was a great saint who was living in this place. I will show you the place where he was living a little bit later. His name is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and I will tell you a little bit more about him. He was a very special person. But he, from the balcony of his house, he had a special vision. He saw this temple manifesting. That was maybe around, 130, 40 years ago, maybe something like that. And he had this vision about this temple, and he described that in the future, a great temple will appear, Adbhut Mandir, wonderful temple. And this temple will attract spiritual people from all over the world. And Russians, Europeans, Americans, Indians, Africans, they will get together in this holy place, and together they will make kirtan, they will sing Hare Krishna, and they will be dancing in ecstasy. So that was his prediction. And I can tell you it's already happening. Little later, I will show you, you'll see. But yeah, it looks like these predictions, they are becoming reality. And also, there is another prediction that love of God will spread from this temple all over the world, like an inundation. And everyone will be drowned in this inundation. Everyone will feel this extreme spiritual elevation that will cover the whole world. All the people will feel this. Now, it's partially already happening, but we are expecting something serious, more serious, bigger to happen. So, they say that the center of this holy place is a place known as Yoga Pita. And this is actually the place where this golden avatar, Shri Chaitanya, appeared. He appeared 500 years ago. I think technically 38 years ago. And yes, he was apparently just a normal kid, but his activities already from his like early childhood were so amazing. He was doing all kinds of miracles. And like, for example, one time his mother, just for fun, she pretended that she fainted. And the other ladies around, they said, just see what happened with your mother. Only things that can help her is a coconut. Immediately, go and get 2 coconuts for her. And the small baby, he really took the situation seriously. He just came out of the door and just a second later came back with 2 coconuts. And they were like, Nimai, how are you doing these things? And he would also go to the river, and he was very naughty boy. He would joke with the Brahmins, the spiritual people there. They will enter the water and perform all their spiritual activities, and they will be just about to come out purified from Ganges, and he will fill his mouth with water, and he'll just stay like that. And they'll understand what's happening. They'll say, Nimai, don't do it, you contaminate me. Like the water from your mouth is impure. Don't do it, don't do it. And he'll just... And they'll say, oh no, I have to go and take bath again now. But actually they were becoming purified because he was avatar of the Supreme Lord. But he was having fun in this way. So sometimes they will be chanting their mantras in Ganges silently, and he would just go and catch their feet and just push them suddenly. They fell in the water. So then they will go and complain to his father, and they will say, your kid is such a naughty kid. He's making all these problems to us. And just at that time, he'll come back. And his father will say, they're complaining from you, that you were on Ganges and you are doing all these mischievous activities. And he'll say, my father, no, I think they're cheating. I didn't go to Ganges today. He'll say, how? These are Brahmanas, spiritual people. How you are saying they are cheating? No, it's true. Just look at me. Just look at my hands. Still I have signs from writing at school. See my hair. I still have dust on my hair. I didn't took bath. I was not there. I'm telling you the truth. So his father, he was completely confused. He didn't know what to do. So like that, he would perform different pastimes. And later, actually, he became the main propagator of the Sankirtan movement, or chanting of this mantra. His teachings, basically, they were explaining that human life, as we said, is our human form of life is very, very, very precious. And it's not meant just to work hard, like the animals. Why? For 2 reasons. First, this body doesn't have capacity to work hard as, let's say, some animals. And also, even if we work very, very, very hard and we get so many material possessions, actually, nothing belongs to us. We say, my house, my car, my family, my business. But in fact, at some point, we have to leave this whole situation and we cannot take anything with us. So if something is really ours, we should be able to take it with us, isn't it? If something really belongs to you, that means you can do with it whatever you like. But the fact is that apparently we have certain material possessions, but actually they are not really ours because we cannot do with them whatever we like. We are not the real controllers. So he was propagating that instead of putting so much endeavors for just working hard to get some material benefits that actually a little later you won't be able to take with you, you better focus your energy to make spiritual advancement. And he was explaining that actually the best way to make spiritual advancement in this age that we are living now is singing this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do you know about this great king, warrior, Alexander the Great? Who knows about him? Okay, most. So he's coming actually from Macedonia, Greece, and he conquered quite some areas of land. He basically conquered the whole Persian Empire, and he reached India. He tried to conquer India, but he was not successful. Some personalities are saying that his astrologers, he had a very good astrologers. That's why he was very convinced that he will have many, many wins in battles. So some people are saying that his astrologers told him, now you reach the pious land of India. Now you cannot proceed anymore. You don't have the karma to enter into India. And he said, no, I can do it. And some personalities are saying when he reached the border of India, two creatures appeared. They were humans with wings. And they came, and actually they were very respectful. They pay obeisances, and they said, we know you are a great ruler, but you cannot proceed further. This land is not for you. If you continue, you'll find your death. And he entered and he won the first battle, but then the things didn't work out for him. So some are saying it was very difficult for him. Some are saying he got sick. Some are saying actually the Indian kings, they gave him a crown, and inside the crown there was like a small, what is the English word? That the wasps have.
Poison.
Yeah, there was a little bit poison. Yeah.
String.
Yes, string. So actually, a very small poison entered his head, but it was so strong that actually started killing him very, very gradually. That's why he became sick. Anyway, he came back. When was the time to die? He had interesting desire. He asked his ministers, I want to go in my grave, but I want my hands to be outside and they should be widely open. They said, that's a very strange desire. Why do you want something like that? He said, I want the whole world to see. Just see, this is Alexander the Great, one of the greatest people, greatest conquerors of the world. But he cannot take anything with himself. Whatever he has, it will stay here. I want to give a lesson to the whole world. So, yeah, our life is very, very precious, and Shri Chaitanya was explaining better, use your precious energy to make some spiritual advancement. Of course, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't work, we shouldn't do our duty, we shouldn't take care of ourselves, we shouldn't have a place where to live. But it means just be serious for our spiritual practice. Let's become very, very serious for our spiritual practice. So he would get together with his closest friends in a place which is called Shriva Sangam. It's just maybe 200-300 meters from his birthplace where he was living. And they will do this singing of this mantra a whole night. So they will get together in the evening, let's say 7-8 o'clock at night, and they'll just start singing. They'll close the doors. Only like special people that they really can relish this spiritual practice. And they'll just go on singing, then at some point they'll start dancing, and they'll become so deeply immersed into the meditation, into the spiritual practice, they won't stop a whole night. And then in the morning, someone will look outside and he'll say, hey, it's already morning. So they say, oh, okay, we have duties to do. So everyone will just disperse and they'll go do their duties. And during the day, they'll take a little bit rest. And then at night, they will get together again and they'll do the same thing. And they did this for 1 year, non-stop. 1 year without a sleep. That's a mystic power, huh? What do you think? Can you survive 1 year without sleep? I personally, if I sleep one night like 4 or 5 hours, next day, just forget about me, okay? That's it. 1 year without sleep is difficult. So anyway, it's also a very, very special place. And many people, they go there just to make kirtan. Like, this is the place for kirtan. If you want special experience from kirtan, that's really special. place, Shiva Sangam.
Where, where exactly is it?
This is in Mayapur.
Mayapur.
It's very close to the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just 200-300 meters from Yoga Pit, from the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya. Then do you remember I mentioned about this great person who had this vision? This is his house. This place is also there. He was living in this house. Actually, he was a very unique personality, really spiritually advanced person. He had a big family. Do you know how many kids?
14.
Any guesses? Wow, you have a mystic powers. I knew it. 14 kids. So you also have 14 kids?
Maybe in the future, I know.
So anyway, to manage 14 kids is already quite an endeavor, isn't it? Apart from this, he was a serious person. He was living for he was working for the British government. He was a magistrate, and he was actually very busy. At some point, he wanted to quit job so that he has more time for his spiritual practices. The British people, they came and they said, "We are so happy with your service, your work. Please continue what you're doing." He said, "But I'm losing so much time. I have to travel." They said, "Don't worry. We will make a special train which is passing in front of your house. And there will be a special coach for you. And you can just go to your working place. You can work on the way there, do your duty, and there will be a special coach for you. You can again do your duty, and you can peacefully go to your home." So actually maybe, not many, 10 years ago, if you go to this place, you could see these rails just in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a very strict person, spiritually strict. Inside one can read his schedule, what was his sadhana, how he was living. So he would generally go to sleep around 8 o'clock at night, and he would get up at around 10:30. And then he would start his spiritual practice. So basically the whole night he would meditate, chant Hare Krishna, he would write books, he would read. And then in the morning around like 7 o'clock he would take, before that at some point he would take shower. Then at around 7:30 he would take his breakfast. Then he would give time to the family. And then at some point he will leave for work. He will do his work 3 hours, then he'll come back, have a lunch, and then sometimes he'll go back to work. Sometimes he'll stay, and he'll do some more writing and reading, give a little bit more time to the family, and around 7:30 he'll take his dinner, and then he'll go to sleep again. And he'll sleep again how much? 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That was his schedule. So he was so efficient, he wrote more than 100 books. He is like genius from this perspective. He wrote so many books. And the interesting thing is, if you read his books, some of his books are like really unique books. Like we can mention some names, Jaiva Dharma, Chaitanya Shiksha. There is such a clarity about spirituality. Like everything is so clear, how the things are working from spiritual perspective. Different levels in spiritual life, different grades of spiritual people. Everything is so clearly explained, so easily understandable. So really unique personality. He was trying to propagate spirituality, although it was not easy at his times. He was also one of the first people that actually put endeavors to help this spiritual knowledge to come to the West. Because he had some connection, he sent spiritual books to different universities in the Western world, to England, to I think to America also, Canada. So yeah, that was a very special contribution. At some point, he understood that he doesn't have enough time to do everything that he wants to do spiritually. So he started praying for a special kid, for a special son. And then a special personality appeared. You want to come and sit here? Not for other reason, just because you're very huge. Thank you very much. So he prayed for a son, and a special personality appeared, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So that was his son. Already from his childhood, it was, again, everybody understood he is a special personality. Like when he was 7 years old, he knew the whole Bhagavad Gita by heart. Not only he knew Bhagavad Gita by heart, he could very clearly explain the meaning of each and every verse. When he was a teenager, at some point he decided that he wants to learn English language. And he found a English dictionary, and he closed himself in a room for 3 days. And he came out and he was speaking English. But because he learned English from a dictionary, many people who want to read his books even nowadays, they have to use dictionary because they are words that nobody knows actually. What is this word like? What is the meaning of this word? So unique personality. When he was also a teenager, maybe like 16, 17, he was interested from astrology, astronomy. So he was reading a book, Surya Siddhanta, and he figured out that actually when they are describing the movements of the planets, every certain amount of years, certain calculations should be done. Otherwise, actually, the movements of the planets, they become incorrect. And he found a way, and he recalculated all these things. And like the learned astronomers were so impressed by this, that actually they gave him a special title. And this title was Bhaktisiddhanta. No, actually not Bhaktisiddhanta, Saraswati, I think. Yes. So since that time, he actually became famous as a great scholar, very learned personality. So then later, when he wanted to become more very serious about his spiritual life, he understood actually if I want to have some serious spiritual impact, I first have to perform austerities. I have to do something extraordinary to prepare myself. Like, you know, sometimes people, they want to make extra spiritual advancement and they, whatever, fast for 2 days, or they make some extra spiritual practice. So he said, okay, let me take a special spiritual vow. And what was his spiritual vow? It was that he will repeat this mantra I think 1 billion times.
1 billion names.
Okay. So basically, he calculated that if every day he is repeating 300,000 names, he can do it for 10 years. So some of the people here, like they know in the morning, we are doing our meditation, we are chanting on a beat, this mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we try to chant 16 rounds, but this takes around maybe 2 hours, something like that. So some of you maybe did sometimes 1 round, 2 rounds, and you have idea. Now, what does it mean to do 1 round, 2 rounds? Now he will do every day 190 rounds. So basically it will take maybe around 21, 22 hours of his day. He will just meditate with this mantra. And the rest 2-3 hours he will use them for sleeping, for eating, for bathing, for whatever he has to do else. And there was people, because at that time he did this in the jungle actually. There were people who were sometimes passing, and they were saying that sometimes they would see a crazy person. He would just come out of the bushes and he would just starting, Hare Krishna, Gauranga, crazy from spiritual bliss. And sometimes they would just see him jumping out of some bushes and jumping in Ganges, completely like oblivious about the material reality, totally in spiritual consciousness. So he really understood the spiritual reality, the spiritual truth, and he was always in complete bliss. Hardly eating, hardly sleeping. He was living in a hut. The roof of the hut was broken. So when it was raining, instead to fix the roof, he was just having umbrella. So inside the house, he would just take the umbrella and continue to do his meditation, his chanting. So many other things we can say, but just to show really unique personalities who are there on these places and unique things they did. Later he becomes so famous that there is a famous trip that he took from one holy place to another holy place, to Jagannath Puri. So he was already so famous at that time that every stop when the train stops, people will take him out of the train and they will worship him. If they will not allow the train to start, then when the worship is finished, they will put him back in the train and then the train will continue and they will do the same thing on the next stop. So basically he really became famous and he had a serious contribution to spreading spirituality all over India, especially Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Krishna consciousness. Another very interesting thing that is happening on this place is Hathi procession. So we have elephants in Mayapur, and once a week they take these elephants and they put the small deities from the temple on them, and they bring them all over the whole property. What is the idea? The idea actually in India is that, and it's according to law also, if you have a temple, actually in many places, the temple, everything inside the land actually belongs to the deity. So you can put it on the name of the deity. So he is the owner. The deity, the Lord who is in this temple, he is the owner of everything. So once a week they will bring the deities around the property, and all the devotees there, the spiritual people, everyone will cook something for them at their homes, and they will go and they offer these foods for their pleasure. And they will worship them, and they will make a very, they will sing for their pleasure, they will make kirtan, they will sing Vedic mantras, and they will also draw very beautiful mandalas on the ground. All this is actually done for the pleasure of the deity. This, by the way, is very difficult to do because, I don't know, can you see? Oh, these are actually petals, flower petals. So it takes quite some time and a talent to be able to do this in a very, very nice way, very special way. And they do this maybe at, I don't know, 8, 10 different places. And on every place the procession is stopping and they offer food and they do worship. And at that time there is a very powerful kirtan with singing and dancing. So it's really amazing experience to see. Another great festival that is happening, maybe one of my favorite festival, is Pushya Abhishek, when they take petals from flowers, but so many petals that they are throwing them over the deities until the deities are completely covered with flowers. So it's really amazing festival. And my favorite part, at least before, they don't do it anymore, but was when they do it, this main part of the festival, because the flowers are there, and they start throwing them over the devotees, and everybody start taking flower petals and start like throwing on themselves. So it really like creates the spiritual world atmosphere. It's something amazing. Like you have to see and experience. You cannot describe it with words. So it's something amazing. Then another nice place one can visit in Mayapur is traditional school, which is known as Gurukula. There are many kids who are going there for studies, many from India, but also many from abroad. Many Westerners, and they look very cute, aren't they? But actually it's a very strict school because the idea is that especially the boys, they have to develop some good qualities in their character so that they can become real men at some point. They should be able to take responsibility. They should be able to take care for family, for wife, for kids. So this training is not only informational training, but is also character development. So they have a certain lifestyle, and the idea is that gradually they develop many good qualities. Like, for example, there is a system that the kids which were already in the school for 2-3 years, they have to take care of the kids who are coming now. So while they're already, let's say, 8 or 10 years old, they're already trained that they should be conscious of other living entities and they have to take care of them. They always keep them for the hand, teach them what to do, what is right, what is wrong. So it's amazing to see how they're developing these qualities. They learn to follow authority. They cook. They go to the kitchen and they help for the cooking. So they know, okay, if we want to eat, first we have to help for the kitchen. Is this the situation in nowadays society? Like the boys on the computer already like 17 hours, super hungry. Mom, bring me something to eat, I'm very hungry. So developing a good quality is a very important part of life so that we are successful. And this is the idea. They are also learning how to do yagyas, spiritual sacrifices. They learn the mantras, how to chant the mantras, how to do the rituals themselves. So they learn many practical things, but the main thing, actually, the most important thing is to develop all these good qualities. Why? Because even if you have a good diploma and you go somewhere and you apply for a job, if your boss is an intelligent person, diploma won't be enough. He'll actually check you out. Yes? He'll see, is this guy good enough? Does he have some brain? And if he sees good qualities, if he sees some brain in the head, then he'll say, yes, I'm taking you. Oh, but I don't have the best diploma. I don't care. I need a good guy to do the job. So if you have a good qualities, good character, everyone will be happy to invest in you. This is the idea. Of course, they are getting other types of education, whatever they'll need for their future. So anyway, these were some things I wanted to share with you. Now I want to show you. Do you want to see?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. For sure.
Then find a good spot from where you can see. Okay? Move a little bit. Can we stop this light, please? Okay. And let's have some fun. First program in the temple starts at 4:30 in the morning. And already there is like 500 people there. This is the traditional school, the Gurukul. And these are the boys who are going for the Hathi procession with the elephants. This is a marriage ceremony, Vedic marriage. This is Pancharatna Prabhu. Jumping in ecstasy. This is the elephant procession. This is the Narasimha, the protector. This is the flower festival. And now I have one more for you, which is describing especially how sometimes they bait the deities there, and it's a whole festival. It's with music, so I'll just let you see it. They are being baited with milk, with yogurt, with honey, with juices, different auspicious substances.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasena Pradhana Padaye Sadhanaru Jodi Dayana Goribe Bhakti Dane Kiya Jodi Dayana Goribe Bhakti Dane Kiya Bhakti Dana Jama Ki Sena Gita Bhakti Dana Jama Ki Sena Jodi Dayana Goribe Bhakti Dane Kiya Jodi Dayana Goribe Bhakti Dane Kiya Bhakti
Thank you very much. So now please close your eyes. Do you want to go back or you want to stay there? So you have two options. Whoever wants can stay there. You don't need any money to come back. You can throw your passport in Ganges and just have fun. And if someone wants to come back, okay, please go back to Calcutta, get your plane, and come back to New York. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Generally, we also have questions and discussion. Maybe we can take one or two questions if someone has. Yes.
What time of the year at the festival?
Generally, it's March. Gaur Purnima festival. It's March. Many people from all over the world they go there for this festival. Yes.
What is that red liquid that they
Red liquid. Well, these are, according to my knowledge, they just mix water with different colors just for the festival. But today,
What happens is different devotees go with a earthen pot to the Ganges and fill up the pot, and that's the water that's used.
okay, so they go to the river with pots and they bring water from Ganges, and then some part of this water is mixed with different colors, red, green, yellow. I think there are some oils inside also, just for a nice smell. Yes. So, thank you very much one more time. I hope it was interesting for you.